Hi everyone, welcome back to the Great Attorney Chronicles, in which we might finally find out what happened at 2 a.m. No one knows. That's my hope and dream, that I cut you guys off on a lovely cliffhanger last time. Maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't, who knows. How we all doing? More nonsense. More nonsense that equals death. Snake Eyes and Gem, thank you for resubbing up with your subs. Snake Eyes with 18 months and Gem with 21. Hot dang. Oh, Stoli, thank you for subbing up for your 7th month. Many months. Heck yeah. Why did everyone pass out and have headaches? What's the deal with the snake? We don't even really know. What's going on? What happened at 2 a.m.? I just want to know. Why did our friend die? Did he trip over a cat and die, or was he murdered? All those answers and more coming at us when I give you back the game audio. Game audio. You know, if that's too quiet, loud, something. Level of audio-ness in comparison to my voice. Let's go. Game. Continue. Miss Pavlova's coven. Oh, from under my feet? Yes, okay. I can put my feet down safely. Gem, thank you for the 100. I don't have anything witty to say about these biddies. Too tired. Alright, it's the victim who lost his life that was bolted shut from inside. Alright, so Sholmes is gonna explain everything. And maybe he'll be right. Maybe he'll be horribly wrong. Who knows? It's Sholmes. Was truly an unfortunate accident? Who knows? Was it in fact no accident at all? This is what we must establish in the first instance. Where's... Nope. What? History. Is this X? Yeah. Alright. So what we want to see is, what is Ms. Pavlova lying about? Because we know she's lying about something in the cat. And, Sholmes is trying to get us there. We've already established it, haven't we? We have not. The man tripped over the kitten that climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident. Couchy just letting people know. Hold it! Oh, hold it! Oh, my dear. We've got a voice. Wait, let's take a step back. Doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm going to have to ask you to spell it out, I'm afraid. It's starting to take shape. It's not taking shape for me. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. I mean, there's the fact that he wrote in ink. And I'm going with the assumption that if he got whacked on the back of his neck, he would just be dead instantly. But the coroner's report doesn't say anything about that. The evidence is right here in Kazuma's cabin. It's undeniable. Okay, I'm gonna assume... I'm guessing that it's the writing. I have no idea. Apa! Ah. Alright. And? Did I accidentally open this? Okay. His death couldn't have possibly been a mere accident. I gasp. Really? Let us show you our hand, Mr. Naruhodo. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. I'm hoping it's this one. Yes! The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. Bellbone, thank you for resubbing up with your prime for the 13th month. There's no way Mr. Asagai could have left his message on the floor. Aha, aha. So it was something to do with the neck break and the message. Also, it's not nice and clean and crisp in his handwriting. That script, it's Russian, isn't it? And it is. The word written means wardrobe. I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native language. Japanese, in this case. But maybe he was studying Russian. Pavlova, what did you do? It is a simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. That doesn't seem likely. Actually, not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not. Sorry, what do you mean? Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Asugai could have left his... Why is Ryunosuke saying Mr. Asugai? Why would he not just say Kazuma? Weirdo. The reason is clearly explained here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in oh, it did say instant. Whoops. I missed the fact that it's an instant. Alright, we're on the right track. Who needs all the words in the death report? Which means, after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't have possibly written anything. He was already dead. Oh look, they just removed the writing. Thank you. Pavlova is a liar. Russian took lots of time to learn. We've got an expert in the chat. Throw the book at her. Stoli B's got our witness. There's something else we found in Mr. Asugai's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there. If what Miss Pavlova told us was true. What? There's something else gives the truth away? I mean, is it the bell piece? She has the other bell piece? A whole mess of garvely nonsense. Alright. I don't think it's gonna be the sticker. So I'm gonna go with the bell piece because she has the other half.
Yes!
We're purely guessing right now. Everyone else seems to know what's going on. This piece of broken glass next to the mark on the floor. But it's the glass bell the kitten had around his neck. We already know all about that. Broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation. Where's the flaw in that logic? Unfortunately, there's a very big flaw, a fatal flaw. Ryunosuke knows more than me right now. If that's what really happened. Oh, that's why the heck is the other half in this thing, yeah. Ah. Yes, remember that we found the other half of the glass bell in the waste paper basket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. Yeah, why? When you're on a ship, with the whole evening ahead of you, would you have not just gone up to the deck, chucked that bad boy off into the sea? Instead, let's put it in my waste paper basket when I've been here for all of a few hours. Just tuck it on in there, it's fine. When he died last night in his cabin, there was someone else in the room. Who's that person? Clearly not outlined. And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise its Jigglypuff from the top. In order to cover up his or her own guilt. I assume the waste paper basket is either bolted down or because it's square it didn't get knocked over. There's someone else present, Mr. Asugai. Whoop, okay. I don't know who's talking. You're wasting time. Oh, Snake Man. Someone else was there? Duh, of course, we know this. What are you talking about? How you doing with that snake, dude? Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out. Oh, yes. Is she also gonna have swans flying out of her? Who's that person? The only person in the cabin when a young student died was you.
Yes!
Yes! It was us. It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. I was in my own locked room inside the locked room, weirdly. But I don't know Russian, there's no way I could have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. It's Charmander! Would you mind? Ah ha 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 ha! Forgive me, my dear fellow. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor. How the hell did she know that we were in the wardrobe? In an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I had been asleep in there the entire time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen on the floor. For fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Assegai really died, and then casually forgot half of it. Okay, thank you. Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. A single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would have barely cast any light on the floor there. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. You all suspect me, don't you? I mean, yeah. Except for Stroganoff over here. Oop, the snake's gone. The snake probably shouldn't be gone, it's hungry. Nina is a woman of sea. She is daughter of a strong sailor. 2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skills and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was chanter on this ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse Ship's Angel of being criminal. Ah, so that's it. You say that when young student died, Nina was there, in cabin. But that was not possible. I give my tooth. You give your tooth? What? Eh? I see. Well, this is all the most interesting. And why wouldn't you... Why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure? You're a great detective. You should know. Look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could go into cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me that killer can walk through locked doors? Nyat, it's impossible. Don't go ugh. We know that if the ship stops hard enough, it'll just casually lock the door. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie a thread around the door latches so they can't open it and close it from the outside. Blah, 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 blah. Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors. Certainly not. They're watertight doors, as one would expect to find on any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gap in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruhiro suggested it. No, we said it couldn't have been done. We did not suggest it. Don't lie. Could you shift it onto me? The Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside. Not necessarily. What? I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind having been used before. I don't believe it. Well, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? Way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside? One way does spring to mind, yes? I mean, are we gonna go outside? Objection. They say I know what I should be doing, but I don't. I assume we're supposed to go hit the bell? We're sort of supposed to go push the button that we've been told not to push? Am I allowed to leave the room? Point out the telling signs of the method that was used inside the my bookshelf? Bookshelf? Question mark? I think it's gonna be bookshelf, because that's the only thing that's been looted currently. That's a word. Yep, for sure. Alright, bookshelf. Yes. Look at the bookcase there that we didn't straighten this time. Yo. Oh, okay. See all the books and things have toppled over? That must have happened when the ship made its emergency stop before. This ship makes a lot of emergency stops. That's right, it's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that aren't fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe, yes, that's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the object. Why are we bringing in inertia right now? I mean, okay. Well, whatever it's called, it's the same force that pushed over all those books in the bookcase. Also made something else in the cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Dramatic music! It was very obvious just after the emergent stop that the ship made earlier. We'd come into the cabin not long before and we hadn't bolted the door. But then, the trauma. Let me in! We saw this. Inspector Hasanaga, and we didn't bolt the door, but we didn't. That's it, when the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Or the force of inepta. If you want to call it Rinosuke, you're so dumb, my sweet child. Are you trying to say that last night, after Mr. Asagai was killed, yeah, you see, that happened, but then you guys allowed us to touch the crime scene, so we fixed all the books to prove that. If only you hadn't let us touch the books. Made another emergency stop? Hi, Raven! When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over. All the ornaments. It's almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. I stood them all up again, didn't I? I touched the crime scene. Then when we came into this cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing here. All the books and everything had toppled over. Just alike in Mr. Asagai's... Why do we keep saying... Why are we not just saying Kazuma? It's weird that we've just switched into... that... I don't know. Odd. Do you have anything to say about this, Miss Pavlova? She has dots to say. Are you out of mind? You say Beer made an emergency stop? It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that have possibly happened? Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. No, there's a casual bell I can ring right outside the door. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Used to trigger the emergency alarm. Oh yes, of course. There was a notice, wasn't there, telling you only to press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes of his lookout alone. Hence the placement of a number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. Wait, it was you? So we can assume Shobes was the one that did it earlier, maybe? When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interest of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As indeed it did a little earlier today. Sir, you just made an entire ship stop. Mr. Shulm, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. Oh, this dumb idiot. To be pressed, whatever the occasion. He sounds almost proud of himself. How dare you mess with ship? I report you to Captain. You are in much trouble now. Now, I'm sure that can all wait till later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learnt a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin door slide closed. That sounds like a real bad flaw in stuff. Like, if there was an actual emergency, that's gonna prevent you from getting into all the rooms, and that's not good. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Asakai, did the ship make an emergency stop, or did it not? You are idiots. Buria is a huge ship with many passengers. If we make emergency stop, even in middle of night, there will be chaos everywhere. What are your thoughts? Not necessarily, because if the doors are watertight, then they don't need to be bolted shut. Yeah, the water could eventually push open doors, but I don't think you would want everything getting locked down like that at a casual stop of ship. Because then crew can't help people get out of their rooms and whatnot. It's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? What evidence? I don't know. Is it more books? Fascinating. Do show us, my good. I don't know what the evidence is. Oh no! I mean, we got the log, but the log is empty. I guess I'm going with the log, though. Because there must have been an emergency to cause the dude to not be at his post. I just hit buttons. Thank God that was... His first name's Biff. Like beef. Or maybe it is beef. Did we know that before? I don't remember. Anyways. Yes! Have a logbook. Seaman Stroganoff. It's your duty to patrol the first class area of the ship. Isn't that right? Ah, that is correct. Why? The ship's log here. This would be where you would record the details of your duties? What are you doing with that? That is mine. Well, it was just in the hallway. You rather my throat's so dry today. You rather carelessly left it atop a little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible. Okay, that should help. But as responsible passengers, words, we took it into our care with mine to return it to you later. I left it there on purpose. That is where I always put it. The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clear that under normal circumstances, you write the phrase nothing to report every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, there was nothing recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log. That is, because nothing happened. But if nothing happened, would you normally write nothing to report? Wouldn't you? Gulpa? Indeed so. Which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here aboard the SS Buria. Gasp. The Titanic is quite a ways away, so who cares about safety? Mage. Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Why would he not just go back and write in nothing to report? Instead of starting up first thing in the morning. Did the ship really make an emergency stop in the middle of the night? Stop talking rubbish. If I'm perfectly honest, I find it a little hard to believe myself. Everyone was drugged. Oh, why? Well, because if it's something as major as an emergency stop really happened, surely all of us would have noticed. No, you all have headaches. You should all share about that. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently, and the alarm bell was so loud. I can't imagine anyone would sleep through that, even if it happened in the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. What of the throbbing? Please don't phrase it like that, sir. Sir? Do not bring that into my good stream. We don't talk about that here. Sorry, what do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah. Oh yes. I have a headache, you're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today. Why are we glow sticking? Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today, too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. So it was in the chicken, which is why Kazuma was awake. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. All the throbbing. Can y'all stop putting ... after throbbing? When the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. I'd already been dragged out of the wardrobe. And had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Don't blame us, the game started it. Help me. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't normally include meals. What did you survive on? Well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So you enjoy some of the whole roast chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes, in fact, I had all of that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? So the victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all? That's right, he didn't touch it. Is that relevant? Yes. The chicken was drugged. My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? I do. No, really? Is that really true? Come on, guys. The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of a soporific. Maybe that's how you say that word. I've only ever read it before. Designed to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it. A sleeping drug? Do you mean whoever didn't? They laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one noticed the emergency stop? Of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. No, that's exactly what he means. Precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. Soporific. That sounds right. Well, Seaman? Eh. Don't just say eh. I'm sorry to say that more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. If you refuse to talk, there would have been an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. I mean, no matter what, they drugged an entire class of people. So that's probably not great, and should be reported anyways. For aiding and abetting a renegade. I wanted to check something the other day. That's not stroganoff. Chin is not nearly long enough. Eyes not nearly tiny enough. Please, no more. I will tell everything. Eh? I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yeah, I think Pavlova's just been the steely person and the ballerina-y person. Or something. So, when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me. We all agreed to help, everyone together. She threw away everything, her fame in the ballet, Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night. Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Who knows, Kay? Might I suggest not eating a lump of strange and bitter, but that comes with your meal? Just a thought. Spit it out. We could not make all drug. How do you say, dissolve? Talk about heavy seasoning. Please don't eat strange bitter lumps of anything. At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with small fishing boat. All the passengers of the ship slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. If that's what happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger, Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. Could have used the emergency stop trick to lock Kazuma's cabin door. But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos. Oh, I wouldn't say so. Why? Ah, of course. Just like us, all the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins. After which, they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite, and accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes. The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyways. So not one of them would have found it remarkable to find their door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt in a single cabin door on the ship, Hopper brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop, which is kind of crazy. You also encourage not eating Australian meringue cookies with a lady of the same name around. No stroganoff or pavlova for anyone right now. You have talked a long time and said many things. What is point? The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried desperately to hide the broken fragments of glass to reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock a door. All told, a busy night. But... I don't know any of this. I'm just a little girl. You're not. You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors do not listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes. And you didn't abuse the button, Shom. Boy, did he. A laudable trait. What? I am quite of the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Do you hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt in the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? Because we don't have Kazuma with his headband of wind guilt around. Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man. Can't you hear such a call with your ears? No, you must hear it with your eyes. Observation is the basis of all deduction. I mean, what? Is he gonna go hit the button? What are you talking about? I believe the time has come. For one final logic and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. It's time to dance. I do like how this game is flipping stuff up and it's not court case this time. It's ridiculous logic and reasoning spectacular. And the fact that we put spectacular on there is great. What exactly? With observation, my dear fellow, just as I said, of these two provocateurs. Observation? If you remember, we know that somebody tried to fabricate evidence, don't we? By tampering with the scene of Mr. Asagai's death. What we're looking for is some trace of evidence that one of these two were there when it happened. Well, clearly one of them is just gonna have ink all over them or something for some nonsensical reason. Alright, we're looking for a trace of evidence that shows someone else was there. Spinny spin, there is the ink, I win. I figured it was the only thing that, like, it could be. You in your little crop top, belly tees and shirt.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff. You seem to have quite a large purple stain on the back of your white uniform there. Eh? Ah, yes, I, don't know where the dirt comes from. Dirt's not purple, honey. So nothing in particular comes to mind about the stain? What are you trying to say? It would appear the significance of the stain has escaped your attention, Seaman. Allow us to make it plain. That man have a belly button? I think so. Sure, he had a belly button when we observed him one time. Very large purple stain on the back of Seaman's Stroganoff uniform. And I think what made it is clear. Indeed it is. Present the evidence. My pleasure. Alright, we're gonna present the black and white photograph to them. You guys know that, right? It's black and white. There is no purple. I mean, thanks to the explanation on the photograph, it says it's purple, but there's no purple. So I'm just like, here, look at this. And it's just nothing. But anyways. Yes! It's totally purple. Ah yes, this photograph and the ink it shows. That's what caused the stain on your uniform. Ink? A rather unusual color, purple. Ah, the penny drops at last. Now you see the significance of observation. The Russian word on the floor next to the victim body was written in purple ink. Gem. And the stain on the back of your uniform is ink of exactly the same color. The ink had been dry, it couldn't possibly have stained your uniform in that way. Which means... you must have been present in the cabin in the moments immediately after the ink was spilt. Alright, yes. It was me, I did it. Everything. I arranged everything in Dead Student Cabin to make it look like Wardrobe Man did it. Then I pressed the button to make Burya do emergency stop and both cabin doors shut. I did everything so no one would suspect our angel. Please. Don't worry, Angel. Let me do talking. Oh, he gonna take the fall. It was after 1 in the morning. I was on duty, patrolling passageway. Then our angel came to me. She was white like sheet. Please, you must help me. I went with her, and the cabin door number 1 was open. When I looked inside, I saw a student boy on floor. What happened here? Please, don't tell anyone. My little one, my little furry friend. Everything that happened in cabin is like Angel told you. The kitten escaped through ventilator into Mr. Asagai's cabin. Oh, wait, we're not talking in Russian anymore. Then he tripped over and broke his neck when he fell on the floor? Yes, that is right. Why not just allow the accident to be an accident then? So after the incident with the cat ran away, Miss Pavlova then visited the cabin next to hers? Only to find its occupant lying lifeless on the floor. She said that she was worried she heard sound of something falling on floor. That's when she went to look. No, Angel? The door was not locked. So she opened to look and you already know what happened after. There's just one thing, if you wouldn't mind. What? When you went to Mr. Azagai's cabin, Miss Pavlova, was he already dead? Probably not, because he probably told them, oh my god, my friend is in the wardrobe. Someone please let him out. They drugged everyone, Mage, to get her on board. She was not on board, and they had to get her on board, so they had like a little fishing boat pull up next to the boat and get her on board, but they drugged the entirety of everybody, so nobody knew she came on board. I already told you. When Nina opened door for student cabin and looked, nope, I was asking Miss Pavlova. I mean, clearly he wasn't. Because otherwise they would have had no idea about the damn wardrobe. Well. Da. Oh. Yes, that is right. I saw him. It was dark, and he was wearing black, but he was on the floor, not moving. I was scared. I understand, and I believe you. We discovered the real truth? Something very nearly slipped my mind. I mean, currently, how does anyone know that Ryunosuke was in the wardrobe? That's the only missing piece currently, I think. This photograph. Yes, I took it myself, you know. Cause of death was a broken neck. Therefore, the victim died instantly. In the unfortunate incident that precipitated these events, a kitten on which the victim stumbled. However, if those are the facts, there's one particular area in this photograph that seems to me somewhat unnatural. What do you mean, unnatural? My thoughts are, how does anyone know that I was in the wardrobe? Which part of this photographic print seems to be unnatural? I don't know if they want me to do the pointy bit or just the word. We're gonna go here-ish. Yes! This word in Russian clearly wasn't written by Cosma. So if you're looking for something unnatural, that's the obvious point. It's not what you meant. Okay, so then... Is it the point out? I mean to identify another point. Losing your footing for yourself. His fists wouldn't be closed. Hands would be open. Because boy is it hard to stop your brain from trying to catch your own fall. If you landed as the victim appeared to have done here, it would be most unnatural. I'm sure that you've reached the same conclusion. Alright, so it's supposed to be the hand. Just go straight for the hand? I'd be doing this hand. We're gonna go with this hand. Boop. Yes! Nope. I like how they're just giving me. When noting a crucial point, it can be helpful to keep your eyes open. I think we're open. Alright, other hand? And it can be equally helpful to use them. Sorry. I'll try that. I guess other hand. No, it's not. We already read this. Stab it. Oh, just let me skip this part, please. Ah! Okay, they're really just being like, no dum-dum. You look like the sort of fellow who stumbles with some regularity. This should be an easy task. Alright, other hand then. Boop. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yes!
Alright, if he really fell due to an unfortunate accident, then the fist doesn't seem quite right. The exact same thought occurred to me. And if all one's instinct is to open the palms flat. Yet here we see the victim has left his hand tightly balled into a fist. Almost, you might say. As though he were gripping something. What do you mean? Simply that I took the liberty of investigating the victim's fist a short while ago. Why did nobody check that before this moment? And what, pray, do you imagine I found there, my dear fellow? Show us, please. Yeah, no, I have no idea what's going to be in there. Would I keep you in suspense? Yes. It's her other earring. Da, da, da. I was wondering if that was a choice or not. A crescent moon with a little gemstone in the middle. Yes, you're right. A crescent moon, it's very pretty, but what does it tell us? Tells us nothing. I'm not so sure. That crescent moon looks familiar. Guys, we don't have to keep playing coy. It's her earring. Observation is the key. The truth is now tantalizingly close. Alright, so she pushed him? Question mark? Because he saw her in not secret stuff? This is the final clue, the last piece of the puzzle. Ask yourself, what does this little crescent moon mean? What's the significance of it? Find the answers with your own eyes. I mean, I assume I should do from this cuff. Examine. Look at that ear. Like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? He's got a dum-dum broken earring piece. As expected, what's called an earring. Little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now that's all that's left is the clasp that attaches to the ear. If that's the case. Alright, so let's say if I try and just left ear. Okay. Womp, 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 womp. Also, I wanted to check. Alright, I was gonna try and check for a belly button on him right now, but apparently the angle's just not right. Won't let me witness. I mean, I think that's the line of his belly button right there. Can confirm. Belly button. Anyways. I mean, to be fair, it's an era where I don't know if earrings are common. I don't know. I mean, I know they've been a thing for a long time, but I don't know in Japan how common they are. Or if they would be of what's-its. This styling would be common. Happy trail. No, I think that's just a little belly button line.
Yes!
Miss Pavlova, I noticed that on your ear. Even though you have a metal earring, the decorative part seems to be missing. Little link holding on must have broken, I suppose. Eh? What? But looking at your other ear, I notice a crescent moon. Ah! I don't believe it. Yeah, your angel murdered somebody. Now, the missing crescent moon was found in the victim's clenched fist. Clearly, there is only one logical conclusion. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. Miss Pavlova. Mr. Assegai seems to have grasped that crescent moon and pulled it from your ear. That would hurt. You should notice that. Perhaps moments before he fell on the floor. In other words, last night, in Mr. Asegai's cabin, you witnessed the moment the victim fell with your own eyes. In fact, you were quite literally at arm's length from him. But the question is, why did Mr. Assegai do that? Why did he pull your earring from your ear and hold it in his clenched fist? Or are women being guilty going to be an ongoing theme here? Probably not. I think it's just kind of happened out. They usually tend to do both ways. There's usually equal opportunity murdering in these games. Let's put it that way. Angel? No one can protect you now. Please, Miss Pavlova, tell us the truth. Last night, what did you do to Kazuma? Ah. Eee! I don't know if swans are gonna fly out of her yet. When I think about everything that happened yesterday, it was too much. Running away, the fishing boat in the middle of the night, trying to climb onto this huge ship. And then, when I was at last in this cabin and I could relax after this horrible long day. Darko, wait! I couldn't believe it when she disappeared through the ventilator. I tried to call her with a little whistle. I tried waving her favorite toy. But nothing worked. Darko would not come back. Punk. What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Oh, Kazuma. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a friend of mine. Young man from your country. He was very polite and kind. He helped me find Darka, and he promised not to tell anyone. But then, when I had my friend in my arms again and I was going to leave the man's cabin... Just a moment. Sorry, but... Oh, yes? I'm sure I know your face. I've seen you somewhere before. Ah! Don't tell me you killed him over this. Ah, of course. You're Nikolina Pavlova, aren't you? The Russian ballerina. Huh? No, I don't know that name. My heart nearly stopped when he said that. He knew who I was. How could this man from a land in the faraway east know a Russian ballerina? Yes, I saw your performance in Japan. The beauty of the ballet made a deep impression on me. But what are you doing on this ship? I'm sure I read that your ballet company was performing in Shanghai at the moment. Can't fool him. I have to tell him the truth and hope he doesn't tell anyone. I have no other choice. I see. So you've run away. Please, please keep my secret. Don't tell anyone. Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. So I'm gonna knock on this wardrobe. He's going to pull that cord. He's going to tell the captain. Oh no! So she did kill him. And he was just going to the damn wardrobe to open it up and be like, my friend's in here. Why did I think I could trust him? Then it happened, everything at once. It was only a second, but it felt like forever. Wait, I shouted, and then... Darka jumped out of my arms and down to the young man's feet. And as he turned around to look at me. Oh. Oh, okay. Still moderately an accident. Nope, I pushed him. Never mind. Not an accident at all. You horrible woman. I hate you. I don't even know why. Don't know why I did it. I was just so scared. That's still murder, honey. I had to stop him from telling anyone about me. You suck. And that's when you went to fetch help? From Seaman Stroganoff, who was on duty out in the passageway. I heard Nina crying out and thud on the floor, so I ran up to her. She was standing at the cabin door, shaking like a leaf. She looked at me and said, "Help me, Beef. If they find out, I will be. Please, I have nowhere to go." So I'm just gonna frame it on this poor innocent man in a cabin. So you decided to help. And that's when you arranged things with Cosmo. But nobody knows about him right now. Like, he didn't get to say that he was in there. Captain already knew, didn't he? I mean, I guess maybe the crew also put drugs in the captain, because the captain has to sleep at some point. So somebody would have taken over for the night. Unknown if captain was involved. No one would suspect the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes, I went into the cabin and looked around to make sure there was nothing to show Nina was there. Ah, that's when I found Stowaway. In wardrobe, still sleeping. Right, that's when he found me. That explains this. We laid the blame on the Stowaway. I closed the wardrobe door and put back the strange paper sign. I dragged the young man's body to a good place and used ink that was spilling to write on floor. I wrote, "Wardrobe," so that person who found him would look inside wardrobe and find Stowaway. And tell me, what of the glass bell? It was by my feet, so I picked it up. I see. But it was dark in the cabinet. I didn't know this other half. Then Angel went back to her cabin and I finished job. By pressing the alarm button? Yes. Right, so you both suck. Accordingly, the Bureau did indeed come to an emergency halt a little after 2 p.m. 2 a.m. Thus creating locked room mystery. Still one thing I don't understand. What? Well, you said that you told Kazuma about the fact that you'd run away from your homeland. It's because you were worried he was going to tell the captain that you pushed him. Isn't that right? Yes. But even if he had pulled the bell cord and called for the captain of the ship, aren't you friends with every member of the crew? Why would that have been a problem? Yeah. It was what he said first that made me scared. What he said first? What are you doing here at this time of night, Inspector? Aha. I thought it was a friend of mine. He said an inspector was his friend. Yes, meaning me. Who was supposed to be acting as his bodyguard. I thought that if police knew about me, they would arrest me. Well, now they're gonna arrest you for far worse, so how's that feel? So before he could pull bell cord, May I stop you a moment, please? Just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean, was Mr. Asagai really going to pull the bell cord? I don't know. No, he was coming to us. What? What do you think? Well, I'm not Kazuma, so I can't know for certain. But he was a man of his word. He told you he wouldn't give your secret away, then he wouldn't have done. No, he was walking over to it. He was going to pull the cord. He was going to make them send me back. Well, day's work not done yet, it seemed. There was one more deduction to make. What, another deduction? Friend with wavy wind of magic. What action was he really about to take? Wardrobe. Can we determine whether or not the young man's gaze was... No, we don't have this. This is all in our heads, so we're just pretending where he's looking then. This is dumb but cute. That's easy. I remember every detail of that room. I mean, yes, I spent quite a lot of time in the wardrobe, but still. Raven, me too. I'm gonna miss the mystical wind of nonsense. That cabin has been my home for this entire voyage. This is how the cabin looked last night when Miss Pavlova visited Kazuma-sama? Yes, exactly how it was. You ready then? Yes. There's one thing I've learned today. A simple gaze can reveal all manner of truths. And not only that, in order to draw the right conclusion, you can't afford to be out by even a little bit when you're following the gaze where it lands. So when he turned away, what exactly was Kazuma looking at? I mean, we can make this ridiculous as all you want. It's gonna be that. He was just gonna go to bed. Literally, he was just gonna go to bed. I'm too nervous that I'm only gonna get one shot at this, so I'm not gonna choose the bed.
Take that!
Dum-dum, he was gonna go for the wardrobe. Considering everything that happened last night, certainly it may have looked as though Kazuma was going for to ring the bell cord. However, what is directly just beside the bell cord? The wardrobe. And the lion and the witch. Oh, there was a cat in the room and the lady is a witch, I've decided. So, bam, everyone was in there. And more importantly, what was inside the wardrobe? It me! The man's great friend, sleeping soundly. Ah! Miss Pavlova, please think back very carefully. What were Mr. Asagai's exact words last night? Give me a moment. I could use another opinion here. Oh, this music is making me sad. Another opinion. Yes, but not from a member of the crew. No. He intended to consult his close friend on the matter. To see if, between them, they might be able to help in some way, no doubt. You done screwed up, and now you need to go to jail. Sadly, we can't know the truth for certain now. It's too late for that. But I wish you had made sure of what he was looking at. Things may have ended very differently, if you had. Miss Pavlova. I want to thank you for finally admitting the truth. But unfortunately, the truth is, a man lost his life because of what you did. That will never change. I hope you'll never forget that. I'm sorry. Really. I'm so sorry. I mean, I guess she's not gonna go cuckoo crazy and have swans fly out her because she wasn't intending to murder. Kind of. Like, this is the first time I think I've seen somebody actually be sad about their murder doing. And now Darka is mine! We just steal the cat. So, at long last, the mystery surrounding the tragic accident on the SS Buria was finally laid to rest. Alright, so it's still the same day. See, look, Jem, there's a belly button right there. That is not a happy trail. Belly button. That little triangle he cut out of his shirt purposely to show it. It wasn't an accident. It was still murder. It just wasn't planned. But also, she's truly sad about it. So I don't think she's gonna swan about it. What will happen to her now? Once we reach Great Britain, she'll be handed over to the British police at Scotland Yard. Got ninny. What about the fact that she ran away from Russia? What, the Russians try and repatriate her? I don't know, take her back? Apparently, the English detective came to speak to the immigration office and sort that all out. Mr. Sholmes can do that? Hong Kong was just somewhere that the everything was going to. Hong Kong is not important. She's from Russia. Final destination of this ship is Britain. So that is the jurisdiction of the two things, I think. No, I don't think so. Even if she wanted to return in the future, I doubt she would be able to. She's now a murderer. She ran away, so now she's in exile for life. I'm sorry. The seaman Stroganoff? I wanted to help our angel, no matter what. But I didn't think about you. And how you lost a good friend. And then I tried to pin his murder on you. I'll go with Nina. I will give myself to British police. It's kind of you. He did a bet. In the meantime, thank you for letting me go free again. Cosmo's death feels like such a waste, but... well, do what you can for Miss Pavlova, won't you? Where is her cat and your snake? I have concerns about these things. Well, I'm afraid you need to pack now. Wait, what? We're due to arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. As much as it pains me. You're gonna kick me off the ship in Hong Kong? I'm going to have to hand you over to the consul to arrange your passage back to Japan. Yes. I did stow away, after all. I couldn't really expect any different. So you should really get back to your cabin now. Something's gonna happen and we're gonna get to go to Britain anyways because of Sholmes? He's gonna be... Alright, bets on whether or not Sholmes is gonna be doing something weird on the other side of this room. We gotta get to Great Britain somehow. I'm pretty sure that's where the majority, well, the next bit of the game takes place. So I'm just gonna blindly assume Sholmes is gonna fix it, but that also means he's gonna show up weirdly. Looks like my study tour to Great Britain is over before it even begun. To think that only days ago, Cosmo and I were laughing together about how we'd tear up the streets of London. It seems like a distant memory now. Don't let me down. Oh, what's that? Sholmes. Is someone weeping? Oh no, never mind. Usado? I didn't know you had returned. Oh, well, I haven't been back long. You just told me I should pack. You know, ready to leave the ship tomorrow and all that. I still can't believe this all happened. I can't believe someone's life can be over. Like that. You had such grand ideas for this visit to Great Britain. So many dreams. And now they've been cruelly taken away. Just as he has. I thought I could never forgive the person responsible. But now we know the truth. It was just an accident. It's still murder. A silly series of mishaps. No, the last push was not exactly a mishap. Too much. Yes, I know. I wish there was something I could say. Holmes? Nope, never mind. My duty was to see Asagai safely to Great Britain. But I failed. And caused his two closest friends great pain and suffering as a result. I've let everyone down. And I will do anything to make up for my terrible blunder. So you're gonna let me go to Britain then, right? No one blames you. I do. Hooray, the handcuffs are back. Alright, there he is. I love this dumb idiot. Surprised! I've slipped you back into handcuffs! What is the meaning of this? Oh, a trifling matter. Simply that in my head I think I shall always picture you wearing those shackles. So I made it so. Without them, the balance seems all wrong. It's distracting. Sholmes is into some weird kinks. Sorry? I decided to restore them, for old time's sake, shall we? You're a stowaway, after all. Ahahaha! He thinks this is funny? Boy, does he. Their boy 2.0. Mr. Sholmes. We do appreciate all your assistance, so I'd like to thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Not at all, not at all. And though it's just a little late, may I offer my sincerest condolences? The loss of your companion is truly heart-rending. I hope that you will be able to fulfill some of his aspirations in his honor. Oops, I'm sending him back to Japan. Afraid that won't be possible. We shall be disembarking at the next port, in Hong Kong. We have to return to Japan and make a full report about everything. What? Wait a minute. Just me that has to go back, isn't it? I mean, I was the stowaway. The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. Be one lawyer and one assistant. Wouldn't you know, there's one lawyer and one assistant in this room. In the light of Mr. Asagai's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. Oh no. I don't care for me, but... Or Susato. My dear fellows, the majority of problems with an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is one lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely. I'm a lawyer, but there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer. Ahem. Nope. No. This pin counts as being part of the lawyer things. Qualifications, you say? Any qualifications obtained in your own country will be of little value in Great Britain, I'm afraid. Oh, but anyway, the voyage to London still promises a good month of time. An ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourself another suitable lawyer. Oh, are we gonna just take the bar on the boat? Yes. Miss Susato? Yes. Do you think perhaps I might be able to do it? Ah! But you're not a lawyer. Oh, unless... Are you studying law? Boy, was I! No, I'm not, but... You were. Just lie. Sorry, in that case, I don't think there's ever even a chance it could work. You literally witnessed a damn trial where I lawyered for myself. You lied through half of it. But as I said, there is still more than a month before we reach England shores. Isn't that right? Yes, I have a month in which to study, to learn what I must to become a lawyer in Great Britain. That's ridiculous. Are you seriously suggesting anybody could learn of that and just studying just in 40 days? There's only one way to find out. I would work my fingers to the bone, Inspector. Every single day. Will you let me try? And if by the time we reach Great Britain I haven't learned enough to be recognized as a lawyer, I'll take whatever punishment is deemed appropriate. But why put yourself in such a difficult position? Because we care about our friend. Kazuma said that there was something he had to do in Great Britain, and that he would sacrifice anything to make it happen. He was passionate about it. Can't let all that passion just come to nothing. And anyway, it's for my own benefit too. I will become a lawyer. Have to. What do you say? I think it's a wonderful idea. Thank you. So, what does our bespectacled inspector friend say? Are we gonna get accused of another murder when we get to England, aren't we? I don't know at this point. So far we've been accused of 2 murders, which is not common in these games. Usually it's just 1. Are you serious? 1 lawyer and 1 assistant. The numbers are indisputable. No, it's madness. Yet fascinating, wouldn't you agree? Fascinating? Duty and rules are the dull routine of existence that we all abhor. Give us interest, give us fascination. Speak for yourself. I was gonna say, this man's all about duty and rules. Besides, qualifications are no measure of a man. What matters is his character, no? And you've witnessed ample evidence of this man's exemplary character today with your own eyes. From the early hours of this morning into this very moment now. Despite contending with the passing of his close companion, and despite the accusation of guilt, this man has shown resourcefulness, intelligence, and above all, courage. And you've literally witnessed us do it 1 other time. Very well. I'll think of a clever way to word my report to the Department of Justice. Inspector! After all, I did just make a promise, didn't I? I said I'd do anything at all to make up for my shortcomings here. Oh, thank you, Inspector. Now don't let us get murdered in the next 40 days, please. You excuse me, I must pay a visit to the captain's quarters, I think. I need to discuss what to do next and how best to make up my report. Are you really prepared to attempt this? Yes, I'm gonna try. I wonder, would you consider teaching me what I need to know? Everything about being a lawyer? The next part of the game is just gonna be me training to be a lawyer, doing tests, failing them miserably. It would be so much fun. I'm delighted to help you. I am a judicial assistant after all. Thank you! And... oh, you're gonna give us this sword? No! Also, please keep us safe from the crew who've already assisted a murderer. What, me? Are you sure? I'm sure it's what Kazuma would have wanted. Its name is Kuruma. It is a great sword. It's been the Assegai clan for generations. Very well, I accept. I'll treasure it always. I mean, thus far, you've needed the equivalent of a law degree twice in 2 months. Yup. Then, It seems we'll be working together for some time yet to come. It will be an honor. Me and my tiny little book that seems to know everything. And for the next 40 days, I shan't grant you a single minute of freedom. We shall fill every spare moment with study. Yes, that's exactly what I need. And then she's gonna roundhouse kick you every time you try and sleep. But before we begin, I have an earnest favor to ask of you too. We also have the magic headband. Goodness, what is it? Please throw me to the ground. 3 times. No, thank you. What? I should never have doubted you. You were Kazuma's closest friend. Of course he would have never done anything to hurt him. That should have been obvious to me from the start. But I allowed suspicion to get the better of me. No matter how upset I was feeling, it was completely unforgivable behavior. Oh, she's got some kicks too, Jem, no! No, you were in shock. Just found out about me stowing away, and the cabin door was locked from the inside. No, you won't let you make excuses for me. Whatever the circumstances, I never should have thrown you, and not once, but 5 times. You also, at the drop of the hat, believed anyone who pointed any kind of blame at me. Like, the point when Sholmes was like, yes, he's Russian, you were like, oh, you're Russian? Ah, the numbers keep creeping up, doesn't it? Please, you must. Just take hold of me and throw me. Do it, don't even think about it. No, I don't even know how. I've never thrown anyone in my life. Very wise. It isn't a skill one acquires without considerable training. I forgot Sholmes was still here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. I observed your throwing technique several times with great interest. I confessed, I was most impressed. When did he see that? Well, he's just lurking in the shadows at all times. I presume that would be a form of Japanese wrestling. Okay. Oh, well, in a way. It's not wrestling, but my own interpretation of an ancient jujitsu technique. Apparently it's called the Susato Takedown. It leaves your head swimming, believe me. How beguiling. I'm a practitioner of the combative arts myself. I am a somewhat accomplished boxer. There he goes, dancing around again. I wonder if you'd be so kind to instruct me on the technique of your arresting throw. Yes, I'd be honored. And let us not dally. Demonstrate, my dear madame. Oh, of course. You're gonna do it to us. Don't you dare. Kato. Kato. Oh. Ma'am. You suck. As you can see, you throw from the abdomen. Yes, arresting indeed. That is what you term the Susato takedown, is it? Actually, no. That was a Susato squash. He didn't ask for the Susato squash. Why are you just switching it up so you can throw us some more? My groggy state of consciousness, scene from the evening recently spent with Kazuma, flickered into my— No, you're gonna make me cry, game! Stop it! Stop it! Ruma? That's one long blade. That's right. A sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asagai clan. I can't believe you managed to get permission to bring it with you. I mean, taking the katana on a study tour for more than a little irregular, surely. Japanese sword isn't his soul, Ryunosuke. I cannot be parted from my katana. Kuruma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wearer to slice evil into? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, There's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. I'll sacrifice anything to make it happen. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. When that important thing he had to do, still don't know what that was, then how the hell are we gonna figure it out? I figured we just weren't gonna tell me yet. I'm gonna see the place for myself and work it out. Let the sword guide us. In Great Britain's capital, London. And we did it. Hooray. Alright, we're probably gonna end the stream there. I know it's a little early, but I don't want to start another story yet. Because we will get nowhere in it. I'd rather we start fresh on the next one. So, I hope everybody has a lovely evening. Enjoy yourself. And we'll see you for the next stream. Have a good night. Bye-bye.